गिरिधारी शिष्य राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरण मोहन जू की जाय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशतर शतशिष्मार भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशतर शतशिष्मार भक्तिवेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशतर शतशिष्मार भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशतर शतशिष्मार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशतर शतशिष्मार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्री गोरक्षदास बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जाय। नित्यालल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। श्री रूपानुगौर्य गुरु वर्ग की जाय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शार गोसाई प्रभु की जाय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जाय। नाम चाय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जाय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जाय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदात गिरिराज महाराज की जाय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जाय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जाय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जाय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जाय। श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाया की जाय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जाय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जाय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाय। समागत गौरव जय श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जाय। श्री वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जाय। गौड़ीय भाष्य श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जाय। Sriman Mahaprabhu's journey to Jagannath Puri ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Samagata Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Gaur. Hare Krishna. Okay, let's do the Mangala Charan and then I'll talk after that. Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Avatirno sakarunyo parichinno sarishvaro Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando dvau bhrataro bhaje. Namastrikala satyaya Jagannatha sutaya cha Sabhrityaya saputraya sakalatraya te namaha. Jaya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Lakshmi Kanta Jaya Jaya Nityananda Vallabha Ekanta. Jaya Jaya Vaikunta Ishwar Nyasi Raj. Jaya 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 Bhakata Samaj. Jaya Jaya Patita Pavana Gora Chandra. Tana Deha Hridaye Tomar Pada Dvandva. Shesha Khanda Katha Bhai Shuno Eka Chitte. Nilachale Gora Chandra Aila Jemate. Tavai Vasmi na Jivami Tvaya Vina. Iti Vigyaya Devi Tvang Nayamam Charanantikam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshai Kshiptashtakama Ditaranga Madhe. Kripa Mai Tvang Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, I'm going to skip this today, the glories of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat and Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. I'll skip all the verses, I'll just read the last one, because I don't have so much time to read now. So, Sahaje vichitra madhur chaitanya vihar Vrindavana dasamukhe amriter dhar. By nature, all the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are very wonderful and sweet, and when they are described by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, they become like a shower of nectar. Jai Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai. Jai the Gauḍīya Bhāṣya of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai. Sri Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki jai. Sri Sapashachi Gaur Hari ki jai. Sri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat Pranams. So, I am not actually live right now. This is a pre-recorded video. Right now we are in the middle of our Navadip Dham Parikrama, so I'm not able to read in the morning time, and so I just want to finish the second chapter because it was very long. I think it was 40,000 words altogether, and we generally read like 6,000 words a day, so we weren't able to finish before our Parikrama started, so I'm just going to do maybe 3 more pre-recorded videos so that we can finish this chapter. And then our next live reading, when I'm actually live, not pre-recording, will be on Gaur Purnima Day in the morning time. And then after that, we'll start our regular daily readings again. It's a bit of a hectic time for me, so I'm not able to prepare very much like I normally do. So I'm just going to jump into it, start reading. And actually, I remember where we left off a couple days ago. We read this whole section when Mahaprabhu was in Bhuvaneśvarī and he went to Lingaraj. Actually, let's just read the Gauḍīya Bhāṣya. Let's do that. I mean, the synopsis at the beginning. And that will be better than me trying to explain it. Okay, so Chapter 2 of Antya Khanda, description of the Lord's travel through Bhuvaneśvarī and other places to Jagannath Puri. And yeah, this reading, I'm going to be reading pretty much just one Gauḍīya Bhāṣya, which came up to 5,000 words. And I think it's about Bhuvaneśvarī. We'll tell, like Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he'll explain all the glories of Bhuvaneśvarī, I think. We'll find out when I get there. But yeah, that's our reading. So we aren't going to be reading any verses. Okay. When, after enjoying past, this is a synopsis written by Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. When, after enjoying pastimes with his devotees at Shantipur, the Lord one morning expressed his desire to go to Nilachal. The devotees informed him about the various types of possible dangers he may face on the way. Yet before the strong will of the independent Lord, the devotees headed by Sri Advaita relented. Just before the commencement of his journey, the Lord solaced his devotees, who were afflicted by thoughts of separation, by instructing them to worship Krishna. Gaurasundar's devotees felt pangs of separation, similar to the pangs of separation felt by the residents of Vraj when Krishna left for Mathura, for they were non-different from the residents of Vraj, and Gaurasundar was non-different from the son of Nanda. Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Gadadhar, Mukunda, Govinda, Jagadananda, and Brahmananda, they accompanied the Lord. They accompanied the Lord, but everybody else had to stay behind. On the way, the Lord asked the devotees if they had accumulated possessions with them, and thereby he tested their qualities of indifference and freedom from desires for material opulences. He was very pleased on learning that none of them had brought any accumulated wealth. While instructing the devotees to fully depend on Krishna, the Lord arrived at the house of Ananta Pandit in the village of Artisara and exhibited the pastime of accepting his hospitality. Eventually, the Lord came to the holy place named Chaturabhog and saw the Ambulinga Ghat there. In this connection, the author has described the story of Ambulinga Shiva. After taking darshan and bath at Shatamukhi Ganga, the Lord became absorbed in his own internal mood. Suddenly, Ramachandra Khan, the administrator of Chaturabhog village, came there and offered obeisances to the Lord. He was very astonished to see the Lord's intense eagerness to see Lord Jagannath. On understanding the identity of Ramachandra Khan, the Lord mercifully ordered him to arrange passage for him to go to Nilachal. Ramachandra Khan requested the Lord and his devotees to first accept a meal at his house, and Mahaprabhu mercifully accepted his invitation. The people of Chhatrabhog thus received an opportunity to witness the transcendental ecstatic madness of the Lord. After 3/4 of the night passed and Mahaprabhu regained his external consciousness, Ramachandra Khan arranged a boat for Mahaprabhu's journey. On the boat, Gaurasundar began to display wonderful symptoms of ecstatic love. Then, on the Lord's order, Mukunda began to sing on the boat. And because of the Lord's dancing, the boat came on the verge of capsizing. When the boatman forbade them from performing kirtan by informing them about the danger of pirates and wild aquatics like crocodiles, Mahaprabhu assured the devotees about their safety by narrating to them topics of the infallible Sudarshan Chakra, which protects the devotees. After entering Orissa, Mahaprabhu took bath at a place known as Ganga Ghat and displayed the pastime of offering obeisances to Shiva, the king of Vaishnavas, installed there by Yudhishthir. Leaving the devotees in a temple, the Lord went alone to the householders' houses and displayed the pastime of begging alms by spreading the end of his cloth. Jagadananda Pandit cooked whatever foodstuffs the Lord collected by begging. After taking his meal with the devotees, the Lord spent that night performing Sankirtan in that village. Early the next morning, the Lord again started towards Puri. On the way, a road tax collector obstructed the Lord's path and demanded tax from him. When he subsequently observed the Lord's uncommon effulgence, he allowed the Lord to pass, but asked the devotees to pay tax. Later, on seeing Mahaprabhu's pastime of simultaneous indifference and affection for the devotees, the tax collector became struck with wonder and fell at the Lord's feet, begging forgiveness. After forgiving the tax collector, the Lord gradually came to the Suvarna Rekha river, and therein took bath with the devotees. As Mahaprabhu proceeded on, the devotees headed by Avadut Nityananda and Jagadananda fell far behind the Lord. During the journey, Jagadananda had been carrying the Lord's sannyas danda. When Jagadananda left that danda with Nityananda and went out to beg alms, Nityananda took the danda in his hand and began to think that it could never be fair that the same Lord whom he carries in his heart would carry a danda. Thinking in this way, Sri Nityananda broke the Lord's danda into 3 pieces. This danda-breaking pastime of Nityananda is incomprehensible to the minds of ordinary people. Only Sri Nityananda knows the confidential purport of this pastime. Later on, when Pandit Jagadananda approached the Lord with pieces of the broken danda, Gaurasundar displayed the pastime of becoming externally angry with Nityananda. He then left the devotees' company and proceeded alone to the place of Jaleshwar Shiva. Sri Gaurasundar, who is the supreme teacher of all, then manifested his pastime of ecstatic chanting and dancing before Shiva, who is the topmost Vaishnava. Meanwhile, Sri Nityananda and the devotees who had been left behind arrived there, and the Lord embraced them with ecstasy, discussed with them various topics, and then narrated the glories of Nityananda. After spending that night in Jaleshwar, the next morning on the way to Bandashaha Mahaprabhu, Bansadaha Mahaprabhu. Sorry, let me reread that. After spending that night in Jaleshwar, the next morning on the way to Bansadaha, Mahaprabhu enacted the pastime of conversing with a tantric sannyasi. He then came to the village of Remuna, where he chanted and danced before Gopinath in the association of the devotees. Thereafter, the Lord came to Yajpur, and after displaying the pastime of taking bath with the devotees in the river Vaitarani, the Lord suddenly left everyone behind and went somewhere. He left everyone behind and then went somewhere, and then again before their sight, and then he again came before their sight. In this way, the Lord gradually came to Katak, and after taking darshan of Shakshi Gopal, he went to Bhuvaneśvarī. In this regard, the author elaborately describes the topics of Bhuvaneśvarī Shiva mentioned in the Skanda Purana. He also describes the glories of the place called Ekamraka, the meaning behind the name Bhuvaneśvarī, the glories of Puri, and the topics of Shiva's position as the protector of the Lord's abodes. When Mahaprabhu arrived there, he danced jubilantly before Bhuvaneśvarī Shiva. From there, the Lord went to Kamalapur. So, I have to stop reading right now because we're starting our Nurturing the Seed focus session right now. But I will continue reading from the Gauḍīya Bhāṣya, which is 5,000 words. It's going to be a bit of a long reading, but I'll start that after the focus mate. Sorry, I can't think right now. But yeah, I'll be coming back on. It'll be dark though because everybody will be asleep. So see you soon. Haribol. Hare Krishna, everybody. So I can't remember what I just mentioned in the previous video. I mean, I'm stitching these together, but yeah, right now it's very late. There's people sleeping in here, so I'm going to speak very quietly. But yeah, I'm actually feeling a little bit sick, and it's late, and I have to leave for Parikrama early tomorrow morning. Our Parikrama begins from the road at 5:30 a.m., so I'm just going to make this short video. I'm just trying to stay true to my word because I mentioned that I was going to pre-record today. So, yeah. Okay, so let's see where we left off. Alright, so the Lord went to Bhuvaneśvarī. Yeah, we read about this at Shakshi Gopal. The Lord cried out, "O Prabhu," and offered obeisances and prayers. Then he began to cry wonderfully in ecstatic love. Life is invoked in the deity forms of the Supreme Lord by chanting his holy names. That Lord has now appeared as Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Yet in this incarnation, the Lord always relished enacting pastimes as a servant. Thereafter, the Lord went to Sri Bhuvaneśvarī, known also as Gupta Kashi, where Lord Shankar resides. And then, did we read this in the previous reading? I think we read this. Yeah, we read this. Okay, let's just reread it though, because I can't even remember all the points. So a description of the holy place, Sri Bhuvaneśvarī. This is the Gauḍīya Bhāṣya of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. He says, a description of the holy place of Sri Bhuvaneśvarī is found in various literatures. Being requested, I'm just going to skip around because we already read this. Being requested by some sages, Vyas Bhagavan revealed the glories of the rarely attained Ekamraka Kshetra. This place has been known as Ekamraka Kshetra because long ago there was a huge mango tree there. There are 10 million Shiva Lingas and 8 tirthas at this place. This place is superior to Varanasi and more dear to Shambhu, and is even more dear to Shambhu, the best of the Vaishnavas. Did we read this? I actually can't remember it so well. Okay, anyways, let's just continue reading. In Orissa, on the shore of the southern ocean, there is a river named Gandavati that flows east. This river is non-different from the Ganga. The transcendental abode named Ekamraka Tirtha is situated on the bank of this most sacred river. This place is more pleasing than Kailash. The length and breadth of this place are 3 yojanas, that's 24 miles. 8 miles of this place is worshipable to the demigods, and 2 miles of this place was covered by the shade of that mango tree. Since time immemorial at this place, pious persons have taken bath, chanted mantras, performed sacrifices, offered oblations, performed abhishek, offered worship, offered prayers, accepted prasad garlands, heard the Puranas, served the lotus feet of the Lord's devotees, and executed the 9 forms of devotional service. In the Swarnadri Mahodaya, it is stated that Lord Purushottam is the maintainer of this place. The eternal Supreme Brahman is eternally present at this place in the form of the Linga, Tri Bhuvaneśvarī. According to the statement, Lingyate, I do kind of remember that. Anyways, according to the statements, Lingyate Gyayate Yasmat, the Supreme Brahman resides in the state of Orissa in the form of a linga within a sacred gold mountain surrounded by the demigods. Since Narayan personally protects this place with a chakra and a club in his hands, He is Kshetrapal, or protector of this place. It is further stated in the Swarnadri Mahodaya that Lord Shri Ananta Vasudev personally protects this place with a chakra and a club in his hands. Pious activities performed without first taking darshan of Shri Ananta Vasudev yield no results. Only those who have unflinching devotion for Lord Shri Ananta Vasudev are able to attain the mercy of Shri Bhuvaneśvarī, who is very dear to Ananta. When Bhuvaneśvarī Bhagavati heard from the mouth of Shambhu the glories of Ekamraka Tirtha, which is superior to Varanasi, she expressed a desire to visit that place. Shambhu then told Bhuvaneśvarī, "You first go there alone, and I will meet you there later." Having received her husband's permission, she rode on her lion carrier and soon arrived at Swarnadri. When she arrived there, she saw that it was indeed more pleasing than Kailash. She also saw a great linga emanating white and black effulgence. Bhuvaneśvarī began to worship that great linga with all ingredients. One day, after Bhuvaneśvarī had gone to another forest to pick flowers, she returned and saw 1,000 cows as white as jasmine flowers come out of a lake and begin to lavishly bathe that great linga with milk. After circumambulating the linga, they returned to where they had come from. When she saw the same incident on another occasion, she took the form of a cowherd girl and began to follow those cows. She passed 15 years in this way. While wandering in that forest one day, 2 young demon brothers named Kriti and Vasa became captivated by the unprecedented beauty of that cowherd girl and expressed to her their self-destructive, wicked intentions. Sati immediately disappeared from the sight of the 2 demons and remembered the feat of Shambhu. As soon as Bhagavati remembered Mahadev, he immediately took the form of a cowherd boy and appeared before the cowherd girl form of Sati. Sati, in the form of a cowherd girl, offered obeisances to Shambhu, who had taken the form of a cowherd boy. Mahadev said, "O Sati, I understand why you remembered me. There is no need. O Sati, I understand why you remembered me. There is no need to feel anxiety. By the will of the Supreme Lord, these 2 demons have expressed wicked intentions to you to invite their own ruination. Let me explain their history to you in detail. There was once a king named Drumila who performed many sacrifices and thereby pleased the demigods. The demigods gave him the benediction that he would have 2 sons named Kriti and Vasa, who would not be killed by any weapons. So now, by the will of the Supreme Lord, you will have to kill those 2 sinful demons." Okay. Being ordered by her husband, Sati began to wander about within the forest in her form as a cowherd girl, and within a short time, she met those 2 demons that she has to kill. To deceive them, Sati said to the 2 demon brothers, "I can fulfill your desires, but I have a condition. I will become the wife of he who can carry me on his shoulder." On hearing Sati's statement, the 2 intoxicated brothers began to quarrel between themselves. Then Sati, in her form as a cowherd girl, placed her 2 feet on the shoulders of the 2 brothers and assumed the form of Vishvambari. Who has the power to carry the heavy burden of Vishvambari? By the weight of Sati, the 2 demons were crushed and destroyed. This Puranic incident concludes by stating that since that time, Sati and Shambhu, the husband of Shiva, they left their golden temple in Kashi and have been residing in this Ekamraka forest. Okay, so yeah, I know we read that last time, but I didn't remember that story so well, and so I wanted to read it again because it relates to this next Gauḍīya Bhāṣya. So, what was the verse? So Mahaprabhu went to Sri Bhuvaneśvarī, also known as Gupta Kashi, where Lord Shankar resides, and then Shiva. So now it's explaining about Bhuvaneśvar. Shiva brought drops of water from all the holy places and created the lake known as Bindu Sarovar. So now the Gauḍīya Bhāṣya continues. After killing, I'm not going to read this whole Gauḍīya Bhāṣya, I'm just going to read for 5 minutes and then stop. So after killing the two demons Kriti and Vasa by crushing them under his feet, Bhuvaneśvarī, in the form of a cowherd girl, fell asleep with intense thirst. To quench Bhuvaneśvarī's thirst, Mahadev pierced a mountain with the tip of his trident and created a well. This well became renowned as Shankarvapi, Lord Shiva's well. Yet Bhuvaneśvarī desired to drink water from a properly established reservoir. Shambhu thus sent his bowl carrier to bring water from all the holy places and to invite Brahma to establish that reservoir by performing a sacrifice. Being invited by the bowl carrier, Brahma and other demigods came to this place and offered their obeisances to Bhuvaneśvar. The bowl then brought waters of the Mandakini and other sources from heaven. He brought waters from Prayag, Pushkar, Ganga, Gangadwar, Naimisha, Prabhas, Pitritirtha, Gangasagar Sangam, Payoshni, Vipasha, Shatadru, Kaveri, Gomati, Krishna, Yamuna, Saraswati, Gandaki, Rishi Kulya, Mahanadi, and other sources from earth. He brought waters from the milk ocean and other sources from Patal. When Bhuvaneśvar saw all the tirthas assembled there, he took up his trident, pierced a mountain, and said, "I have decided to create a lake at this place. All of you offer 1 drop of water into this lake." After the tirthas followed the order of Shambhu, Lord Janardhan and the demigods, headed by Brahma, took bath therein. Bhuvaneśvar and his followers also happily entered into those waters. Bhuvaneśvar then said, "Now, 2 pure reservoirs of water, Shankarvapi and Bindu Sarovar, have been established. If one takes bath in Shankarvapi, one will attain the same features as mine. And if one takes bath in Bindu Sarovar, one will attain my abode." Thereafter, the topmost Vaishnav Shambhu offered his obeisances to Janardhan and said, "O Purushottam, please reside with Ananta as 2 deities on the eastern bank of this lake, and take the positions of my controller and the protector of this abode." Since then, Lord Ananta Vasudev has been blessing his dear Shankar by giving him his remnants and residing on the eastern bank of Bindu Sarovar as Shambhu's controller and the protector of this abode. Thus, Bhuvaneśvar Shambhu is worshipped by offerings of Shri Ananta Vasudev's remnants. Yes. So, Ananta Vasudev, Westerners are allowed in that temple also. So, the Ananta Vasudev's remnants is offered to Lord Shiva every day. That's what he subsists on. Lingaraj Shiva, right? So, actually my time is up now. This is a very long commentary, so we will read this all tomorrow. But for now, I'm going to end the video here. Jai Shri Harinam, Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Jai Shri Radha Vinod Vihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Srila Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Swapasha Chiko Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Jai Shri Mahaprabhu's traveling to Nilachal Ki Jai, Jai Shri Bhuvaneśvarī Ki Jai, Shri Bhuvaneśvarī Ki Jai, Shri Lingaraj Mahadev Ki Jai, Shri Ananta Vasudev Ki Jai, Shri Bindu Sarovar Ki Jai. What was it called? Ekam Raka Forest Ki Jai, Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhaktavinda Ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Haribol. Alright, so sorry about the strange reading, and I'm going to end here, and I'll see you all tomorrow to finish this Gauḍīya Bhāṣya. Haribol.